The girth of his what?
You're like a father to me.
Hey! And go.
What's up, everyone? This is Adam from FWCI. This is the Thunderbolts Pitch Meeting reaction. Ryan George did a pitch meeting about the Thunderbolts movie. I have seen the Thunderbolts movie. I went on opening night. There is a review of that up on the channel, but I'm curious to see what Ryan George has to say about it because, in my opinion, with all of the insane drama and behind-the-scenes reshoots and rewrites and the production hell that this movie was in, they kind of pulled it off and pulled out an actually entertaining, coherent, enjoyable, fun, emotional superhero movie. It kind of came out of nowhere because Marvel has been really stumbling a lot lately, to say the least. So I imagine we're going to get a lot in this about how Ghost was originally going to be in the entire movie, and instead she gets killed in the first 1 second, and then they just loot all of her gadgets and shit, because clearly they'd already filmed scenes where they needed, Taskmaster. They already filmed the scenes where Taskmaster's gadgets were used, so I love the fact that they clearly went back and reshot that scene where they're just stealing her shit. I love US Agent John Walker. He's one of my favorite characters in the Marvel Universe at the moment, and has been ever since he was introduced in the last shot of the first episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier. I just savored how upset people were at that, because I knew that the whole point of his character was to make you angry that they had replaced Captain America, and it was actually kind of spectacular seeing that play out in real life. So, let's see what we got. This is the Thunderbolts Pitch Meeting.
So, you have some new Marvel for me? Yes, sir, I do. It's time to put an end to Phase 6, or 5? I think it might be 4. Is it 4? Maybe it's 5. You know,
No.
Nobody knows for sure. Okay.
It's got to be at least Phase 5 at this point, surely.
Now, I have to say, things have not been super great around here recently, and I have a little bit of fear that my butt might be in danger. No worries, sir. This is gonna turn all that around. It's called Thunderbolts Asterisk. Asterisk? I just said I'm afraid my butt's in danger. No, like an asterisk, like a little symbol. Oh, okay. Wait, why would we put that at the end?
Is he trying to say that an asterisk looks like a butthole?
End of a title. Because there's gonna be a big twist at the end where it turns out this team we're following in this movie, they weren't the Thunderbolts, they were the new Avengers. Oh, that is a nice surprise. Thank you. I'm gonna tell everyone as soon as the movie comes out. What? So what happens in this thing? Well, Yelena's doing missions for that Valentine.
Honestly, I don't really care that they're calling them the new Avengers. Isn't it the actual, lineup for the new Avengers from the comics? I don't know, but I guess people that haven't seen the movie and are keen for it. But what is the crossover of people that are dying to see this movie and didn't go see it in the first couple of days when it comes out? I mean, people who don't have social media? Is that who we're talking about?
A boss lady, but she's sad because she feels like life is meaningless. Oh, has she not heard of money? Because that's what gives my life meaning. Right, I shouldn't say just money, also things. Yeah, right, well, I guess she hasn't heard of money or things, so she's sad. That is sad. So Valentina sends Yelena on a new mission, but she's got something up her sleeve. Is it elbows? Well, technically, yes. I knew it. But also, she sent all her field agents to the same place to have them kill each other. Uh-oh, which agents? We're talking frickin' Ghost, US Agent, Taskmaster. Oh, Taskmaster. You know, I've been wanting to see more of Taskmaster on the big screen. Yeah, so Taskmaster immediately gets shot in the head and dies. Oh my god. So all these characters are fighting.
Wow, they're not going to talk about the fact that Taskmaster was originally throughout the entire movie. And by the way, I liked it. I loved the way that happened. I did read something that there was, the original plan was for Taskmaster to have memory issues and constantly be trying to murder, John Walker throughout the entire movie. Like, she would be on board and then she would just start trying to kill him, which actually sounds like it could have been kind of fun.
And they accidentally let this character Bob out of the container he was in, so he's like, hi, I'm Bob. That means nothing to me. But then it turns out this room's an incinerator, and Valentina wants to burn them all to cover her tracks. How do they figure that out? A 2-minute timer appears and it starts getting warm. Probably shouldn't have put a timer on the wall for the incinerees to see. I guess this was a timer that she also wanted incinerated? That makes sense. So
the incinerees.
Does Ghost go through the wall and let them all out? Well, actually, Valentina has this sound thing installed to stop Ghost from doing just that. Very smart. Gonna be tough for them to get out now. Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, cause see, the power source for the thing is in the room with them, so they destroy that and Ghost is good to go. Probably shouldn't have put that in the room with them. I guess this was a power source that Valentina also wanted incinerated. That makes sense. So then there's gonna be this thing of...
Were they just in the incinerator, though? I thought it was like an office or something.
Oh, is Ghost gonna come back and help them? But then she does. Okay. And then one by one, each character has a moment almost exactly like that, and they escape. Aha, sounds like they're a reluctant team now. That's exactly what they are. Oh, wow, wow, wow.
Wow.
Wow. But then Valentina and her team are there, so Bob sacrifices himself so they can escape. Well, that's nice of him. Turns out he's freaking bulletproof and he can fly and he's got a bunch of powers. Oh, he does? Yeah, we'll get back to that later. But then Red Guardian shows up and picks up the team. How does he know where they are? Well, see, he's a limo driver.
Is he the MVP of the movie? He was so fucking good in this. Another character that I loved from the original appearance, I guess his would have been in the Black Widow movie. As soon as Red Guardian got introduced with David Harbour playing him and the way they did that character, I've been completely on board. So I was honestly really excited for this movie throughout the entire journey that the production went through.
Now, and he was driving
And
Valentina
Yelena,
around
awesome.
and overheard the whole plan. Valentina doesn't vet her drivers at all. Not even a little bit. In fact, his limo company's called Red Guardian Limo Service. Literally the superhero name of the father of one of her main operatives. Yeah, she should have caught that one, but she didn't.
Man,
Anyway,
good
so
call.
he picks them up, but then they all get apprehended by Bucky. He's from like 8 other MCU projects. He sure is, sir. And in this movie, he's a congressman, but he doesn't like it. How come? Because it's stupid and he prefers punching things. That makes sense. Why'd he even do that in the first place? Unclear, but he also wants to stop Valentina, so he joins.
Oh, Bucky becoming a congressman randomly. Alright, so I think there was supposed to be more for Bucky to do in the Captain America movie. I guess he doesn't need to be a congressman in this one, but I get that Bucky is the leader because he's obviously the oldest, he's got the most experience, and his origin story is being like a reformed kind of bad guy. So it makes a lot of sense for Bucky to be involved in this movie in any way at all.
Joins the squad. What are they, some kind of suicide squad? For legal
Pretty
purposes,
much.
no, they are not. Right. Well, it'll be nice to have a super soldier serum guy on the team with the other super soldier serum guy and the other super soldier serum guy.
3 of them.
Yeah, making it a 3-pack. So now Bob is with Valentina because she wants to make him into a superhero she can control. Okay. But the thing is, he doesn't even know how to control his powers. So what does Valentina do? She tells him, hey, learn to control your powers, and he does that pretty much immediately. Well, okay, that was pretty straightforward. It was, and the thing about this guy that we're just gonna kind of explain right before it happens is that he's got a god complex, so she compliments him, and that means she's in control of him. Just like that? Just like that. So she calls him Sentry, and when the team shows up to stop Valentina, he kicks all their butts. Oh boy, a very powerful former Bob. But then he realizes, hey, why am I listening to this lady? And he...
Yeah, fuck yeah. I'm glad he had that realization, but I love that scene. I loved the way they did all of the animation there. The guy who plays Sentry, I'm not completely sold on, but I really like the way they presented Sentry's powers in the first fight scene.
A very powerful former Bob, but then he realizes, hey, why am I listening to this lady? And he turns her on. What? Sorry, he turns on her. Oh, that makes a ton more sense. So Valentina's assistant uses a kill switch on Sentry, and her and Valentina get out of there. They don't stick around a minute to make sure he's actually dead. Well, listen, sir, nobody's ever done that in a movie, and we're not about to be the first. That's a good point. So anyway, turns out that this kill switch triggered something inside of Sentry and turned him into this dark, shadowy, void version of himself. Oh, I have one of those following me around. Really? Because this is like a metaphor for depression and whatnot. Oh, mine just tells me to do things. Say that something is tight. Something is tight. What? 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 Anyway, so this freaking void character.
I mean, I haven't seen my Void in fucking ages. Why?
Do your channel sign off, you know I love that.
Be well, stay safe, look after your friend. I don't do that until the end of the video. Fuck off.
starts attacking everybody in New York City. I mean, if people are still living in New York City at this point, they have like no self-preservation instinct. Yeah, so he starts turning all these danger magnets
Fair.
into shadows. What do you mean? Well, it seems like they're dead, but really they get sent to these shadow places called shame rooms. I've got one of those set up in my basement, if you know what I mean. Gross. So everybody gets sent to these places where they gotta like relive their worst moments. Uh-oh. So Yelena and the team voluntarily go down there and they find Bob. How? By finding Bob. Nice. So Bob starts like beating up his shadow self, but it's not working. So what do? Well, the team all gets together and give him a big hug and tell him that he's not alone, and so that calms him down and the day is saved. So we're doing 2 movies in a row where the big main conflict is resolved by getting somebody to calm down a little bit. That's right, and then Valentina presents them to the press as the new Avengers.
Okay, I'm personally okay with that because how else do you beat Red Hulk? You don't. You have to return him back to Thunderbolt Ross form, and then you defeat him. How do you defeat Void, who can just turn people into a shadow and send them to their worst nightmares? By the way, Peter Parker and Matt Murdock are probably having a rough time. You don't. You can't. He's impervious to, like, everything. Like, you need to find a different angle to take that character down. And the fact that Void is, like, a metaphor and a manifestation of Bob's depression in the movie, it makes a lot of sense that, like, strong mental health would be the kind of thing that could help him contain this entity that is within him. So honestly, I think it's kind of brilliant. I kind of love all the duality and the metaphor, not just, like I say, not just the metaphor, but the actual happening of the movie as well. They're both completely dependent on Bob's mental health.
Amazing. So what do you think? Well, I mean, technically this is an Avengers movie, so technically this is gonna be a monster at the box office. The biggest we've seen in a while.
Wow, debuts below Captain America Brave New World? Yeah, I think you might see... Meanwhile, it's got 9 out of 10 stars. Yeah. I go see the Marvel movies as soon as they come out. Just because I don't like to see spoilers, and, you know, I'm in a lot of, like, action figure groups and stuff like that, so, you know, people always get a little bit, like, cute with their things, like, oh, does anybody have this figure for sale? And it's like, okay, so that person's in the fucking movie, fuck you. So I always go on night one and make sure that I don't get any spoilers, and I went into this expecting it to not be that great, but I went into it expecting to enjoy it anyway, because I love Yelena, I love Red Guardian, I love Pluck a Duck. No, I'm just kidding. I'm a bit of a fan of the character Ghost because I really liked Ant-Man and the Wasp, that movie. So, and John Walker, like I was saying before, all of these characters from all these different pockets of the Marvel Universe were pockets that I actually was really entertained by. And I know not everybody can sort of say that, but the Black Widow movie was terrible. Red Guardian was fucking awesome. Yelena was awesome in that movie. So it feels like they've just taken, like, the good parts of the Black Widow movie and continued those on, which I'm fine with, because Marvel movies lately seem to be pretty shit, but I don't always let the overall shitness of the movie affect me enjoying specific parts or specific characters or specific scenes. I'll even go on record to say that I enjoyed Kingo's part of the Eternals movie. I think that's literally the only part that was in any way at all exciting, but Kingo and, you know, Kumail Nanjiani as that character, fucking quality. So I went into this movie expecting to enjoy catching up with all of these characters, but it exceeded my expectations in every possible way. It's just unbelievable how they managed to pull together something as coherent and enjoyable as it was, given all of the just unrest and change that has been happening with the Marvel Cinematic Universe and everything over the last, like, 5 or 6 years. So I'm hoping that this is the sort of soft entrance back into the Marvel movies meaning something and being well written and having good, engaging characters. The next movie is the Fantastic Four, and I think they've got a pretty good opportunity to really get people's attention again with the Fantastic Four. They've got a great cast, new characters, iconic characters that everybody knows, and if they can really forge a bond between the Fantastic Four and the audience, it may end up being the anchor for the next phase of the MCU. This Fantastic Four movie might end up being a lot more significant than we're expecting, because I thought this one was going to suck, and I thought Fantastic Four was going to be like the first step into the realm of like clarity. But I put the Thunderbolts up there in terms of MCU movies for sure. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on this one. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Go to patreon.com/FWCI if you want to support the channel further. And as always, everyone, be well, stay safe, look after your friends, ta-ta, and farewell.